Hello and welcome to this series of videos on article marketing. In this video, we're going to cover some of the basics in how to submit your articles to the various directories and article banks. Once you know that your article says everything that you want it to, you're then ready to submit to the different article sites. These sites are sometimes called article banks or article directories, and each one will have its own separate rules for submission, and we'll detail those a little bit later on in this video. Now, first of all, it's helpful to be prepared because most of the sites will require that you register, and most are free, so there's no financial worries involved. Now, you may want to make a document that you can copy and paste from. Pretty simple text document. You just enter particular details on so you can copy from that and paste into the different forms. Now, it should contain your name, telephone number, email address, and website address, as well as the username and password that you're going to decide to use. Now, if you have a Google toolbar installed, and if you fill in all these details in the autofill section of the toolbar, it could be even faster than the copy and paste method. Remember though, not all of these sites are set up to use the Google toolbar function, so having the aforementioned copy and paste document handy just in case will definitely help out. Now let's take a look at one of the websites here that I've kind of been featuring quite a bit on this series. It's called eZine Articles. It's one of the more popular article directories on the internet today. And if we go to submit your articles, now of course if you already have an account with them, then you'll see that you'll just click on the members login section. But here you want to go in, and it's pretty basically the same in most all the directory sites you're going to come to, the information they'll require from you to register. But you'll see they ask for your email address, verify. Now these guys are pretty cool. They got the little video here that you can watch, some audio that you can listen to help you, cross your T's and dot your I's correctly as you go along. So this is the information that I would suggest having in your copy and paste document, so that whenever you get to another directory that requires, and you'll see what I mean, that they'll require basically the same information, you won't have to sit here and type it in. Like me, I'm a one-finger typer. It could take you all day. So having a copy and paste function is definitely going to save you a whole lot of time and headaches. Now, just in case they offer a separate section in the registration form for a username and password, whereas here they do not. They only ask for your email address. What I would do is to make it a standard across the board on all the directories and article banks you sign up for. I suggest using your email address, or maybe one that you just made at Gmail or Google Mail that will be solely used for your article marketing. Use the same email address as your username on each site, so if you were to try, say, one of those auto-submit software programs at some point in the future, it'll be much better if all the sites that you register at use the same username and password. Now, before you submit your articles, be sure to read the submission guidelines for each site. Many of the article submission sites will allow as many articles as you want, while others will only allow 1 or 2 a week. And some will not allow articles done with software, so do a little research. It's very important to follow all the guidelines because you do not want to get banned from the directories. Let's go ahead and take a look at the terms of service, or the submission guidelines for eZine Articles, and it's right here under Author TOS, or Terms of Service. Go ahead and click on that. And you'll find that most of these are going to be basically the same, but again, it's good to at least take a gander at them one time around, because they may have some information here regarding items that can or cannot be included in the body of the article, which if you're like me, you like to use some links or some anchor text within the body of the article, then it's good to know which sites will allow that, which ones will not, because again, you don't want to start submitting to find out later that you've just been banned from some of the major article directories. That's a major no-no. And once you've finished up the TOS on eZine Articles, for example, down at the bottom, you just click here and it takes you right back to where we were at the sign-up portion. Now, your article will be published in its entirety on most article directories, while a few will only post a link to your article, which you will then need to have in full on your website. And let me show you a site that I came across here. This is basically a directory of directories, and it was last updated here last month, January. And one thing I wanted to point out, and you can see right here in the corner, there's 223 directories and counting. Just let me kind of add to that some of these I have found are no longer working. So use this as a guide, not a Bible, so to speak. And one thing too, there's a little key in here too. Each one of these G's is a page rank of sorts. Oh, where are we at here? Here we go, the little legend. And the theme category, which I think is pretty cool if you are in a particular niche that you want your article, instead of it going to all the directories, which, hey, I'd do that anyway, but say you want to, in addition to that, submit it to certain niche directories, well, here's a good way you can go. And again, you can always do a Google search or a search on your favorite search engine where you put the name of the niche or the type of the niche and then put in article directory at the end of that. And that will pull up some various article directories for you as well. But just the one I wanted to point out here, oh, where did it go? As you can see, it gives you a little bit of information along the side here on the directories. Dun, 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 dun. As you can see, this one here only allows you one article per month. So this is one I was wanting to point out here. This one shows that they will only provide a link to your article, which again is kept on your website. But all in all, this is a pretty informative site. I mean, it's got a lot of the search features that you don't have to go from, search engine to search engine. You can go to this one site, and again, this is the site right here, the URL. And it's got them broken down into different categories and such. So, it might be worth your time to bookmark or save this in your favorite, save it in your favorite places. Now, one other thing too, as far as submissions, there's websites whose sole purpose in life is to submit your articles for you, or auto-submit sites, if you will. If you don't have the time to manually submit the articles to all the article directories, well, you may want to consider paying to have someone do this for you. There are various websites offering this service, but frankly, the most comprehensive and the most value for the money that I've come across is called Article Marketer. And this is their site here. And it can be a little pricey depending upon which package you go for. But they do have a free service. It's a little more limited than some of their paid services. But it's at least way something that you might want to jump into, get your feet wet, check it out. And if you're kind of liking it, then here's an idea. They've got an affiliate program that have reoccurring payouts. So if you want to do this, just an idea, join the affiliate program. After you made a few sales, then the money that they provide you each month in your commissions, put that back into the service by then utilizing their paid services. This way, they end up paying you to use the paid service. Pretty simple. As I've been mentioning earlier, alternatively, you can use software to automate your article submission. You can do a search on Google or whatever search engine you prefer and check out some of the various submission software products on the market today. I personally submit all of my articles by hand. The main reasons for this is because I found that a service or software, they just cannot select the correct category every time for every directory. Plus, I like to place hyperlinks within the body, whenever allowed, and some services and software just they don't do that. So whether you pay someone, use software, or manually submit your articles, be sure and read and understand the directory's guidelines beforehand. I can't say that enough. It's very important to follow all the guidelines because, again, you do not want to get banned from any of the article directories. Now, this brings us to the end of this video on submitting your articles to article directories and article banks. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something as well. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.